you buy a piece of land, there's holding costs. And I feel like holding costs is definitely something that no one takes into effect. Someone who does investing, right? I always cover both sides of closing costs, right? There's commissions and sales in the back end, right? And any remodel, right? But holding costs is easily the most expensive, usually the most expensive, right? Because what I use hard money. So it's 1 to 2% on the front end and then a point a month, right? So obviously there's cheaper ways of doing that. But just for conversation, let's say it is $1 million piece of land, $20,000 on the front during the closing costs, right? When I purchase it, and then it'd be $10,000 a month. If it's a year process, that's $100,000, right? So that has to be factored in. Obviously I don't do a lot of land development deals like that, but if it was a $300,000 house, it's $3 to $6 grand on the front end, and then it's $3,000 a month, right? And so if it's a big remodel that's 4 to 4 months, plus another on-market listing, and you're talking 7 months, so you're $3 grand on the front end plus 7. That's $21,000, $24,000 just in that cost, right? And so, and people always are very quick to be like, well, you're buying it for 300, you're selling it for 400, you're making 100 grand. And it's like, well, I'm covering your closing costs, that's 5 grand. Then I'm paying another $24,000 in holding costs, right? So now we're at, $30,000 right there. Then I got to pay 30 grand in remodel. So that's 60. Then when I go to sell it, even though I'm a realtor, I got to pay seller closing costs and I got to pay a buyer's agent commission. So that's going to be at least 10, 15 grand, right? So now I'm at 75. And then no matter what happens, the buyer's agent is going to ask me to make repairs no matter what, right? That's going to be 5 or 10 grand. And then I may not even get the price that I want, right? And then and then the government takes half, right? Don't forget that, right? So the juice has to be worth the squeeze. And I know that's real estate and remodeling, but it's the same thing for a piece of land. The major difference with a piece of land is that you can't rent it. So if it is true bare land, you are feeding it every single month and there is no return. Some people will have like a house that you can rent short term and then tear down the house and do that permitting. And that's a nice deal, but it still doesn't take into effect. And the math has to make sense.